And switching gears now, joining me this time from Washington, D.C. is someone who's definitely not a mameluke. He is economic analyst and former advisor during the George W. Bush White House. Kereakos Zuras. Kereakos, welcome to the show.
How you doing, Rick?
All right. Well, I'm not doing so good when I look at this budget proposal by President Obama. You know, during the candidate Obama called President Bush unpatriotic, said it was immoral to build this deficit.
That's right.
It has been built greater under this president, and he's not even looking back. Now, he's talking about a budget that will cut taxes on the middle class and tax the rich, plus job providers, i.e. corporations. Can you give us some insight, Kereakos? How is this president, according to this budget, defining who is rich and who is not?
I don't know. I don't think we know the answer to that. I think he just blindly comes up with these plans, and I don't think he really has a clue what's going on here. And, you know, he's always taxing people that make supposedly more money than the average person to give it to somebody else. Here's the problem with taxing corporations. You know, there's 23 million small businesses in the United States, and they're all corporations, like some of the businesses that I own and most family-owned businesses that pay double tax as individuals and corporations. When you keep raising taxes on these businesses and these people, they're not going to hire anybody, and businesses are going to close down, and startups are going to be non-existent. So everything he's done has hurt the middle class, from Obamacare to everything else. So he touts his message as I'm helping the middle class. But what's happened in reality is from the time he's been in office, the middle class has lost 19% of its income. And not to mention we have 11.2 unemployment rate, and people are out of work, and the labor participation rate the highest ever been in 35 years. I don't get it.
And meanwhile, the IRS has collected more tax revenue than at any other time in history. Kereakos, billions of dollars, billions with a B, in this budget are dedicated to climate change alone. Can you tell us anything about that story?
Well, you know, he's claiming that the taxpayers are already paying. It's costing us $300 billion a year. But what he's not telling you is a lot of that is, you know, when the government responds to hurricanes and natural disasters like fires and floods and that type of thing. And, you know, the whole science behind the global warming thing is really unproven. And, you know, I'm not buying it.
All right. So the budget is set at, the spending on the budget, I should say, is set at $3.999 trillion. In other words, it's just a hair below $4 trillion. Right. It sounds like a retailer selling something for $9.99 instead of $10. What do you think it's just a coincidence, or is this the president trying to market his spending to the American people by keeping it just a hair under $4 trillion?
I find that amusing, but that's exactly right. And the thing is, and he's also the underlying message behind is 3.999 instead of saying 4 trillion is we all know it's going to be more than that no matter what he says. But he's also, you know, the caveat is, oh, we're going to tax the rich more, and we're going to cut taxes for the middle class. So the average person looking at that's going to say, well, that's not going to affect me, so that's fine. Go ahead and do it.
Exactly. Well, you know, Kereakos, we're going to get email tonight saying that you and I are racist for condemning this spending bill. It's going to happen.
Really? Well, that's fine. But, you know, Obama's outspent every president in U.S. history combined. He's outspent 227 years of spending in his first 3 years. You can call me whatever you want. That's facts.
That is remarkable, is it not, that every other previous president, as you say, combined. And we showed a video, Kereakos, earlier in the show of the president condemning George W. Bush for creating deficits. Yeah. All right.
Unpatriotic. It's not good.
Final question. You worked as an advisor to President George W. Bush. You know the politics of Washington. Some are saying that this bill is dead on arrival, what with the Republican-controlled Congress. If you pulled out your crystal ball, what would you say today?
I'd say it's dead on arrival, like it has been every other time he's proposed it, because it's really the same bill. It's all about, you know, more spending. He wants $2 trillion in tax increases on the rich and corporations, which basically is going to trickle down to the middle class. And it's just the more they take in, the more they want to spend. It's dead on arrival, and this time around he has even less Democratic support than ever before. It's a bad idea. It's the same old idea. I'm not surprised. It's dead on arrival.
And before we let you go, I just want to say this, Kereakos. This is why this type of a mindset which President Obama has put forth in terms of spending these past 6 years, and he was, and with all due respect to the president who you worked with prior to him, the spending under that president, this is why the Tea Party emerged. Not because of racism and this and other, that the left and the mainstream media have done such a terrific job at manipulating the American people into believing. It emerged because grassroots citizens, fiscal conservatives, were concerned about the spending growth under the Bush White House and the new attitude in the new White House at that time in 2009 under President Obama also towards spending. And they were right. I want to get that out there because Tea Party has become synonymous with racism and intolerance. It's not that, but it's what the media.
It's got nothing. It's got nothing. Right. It's got nothing to do with it. It's taxed enough already, and aren't we taxed enough already? Aren't we paying enough taxes? The tax isn't the problem. It's the spending. And in February of 2009, President Obama said, I am going to cut the deficit in half by the end of my first term. And what he did was he outspent every president combined in U.S. history in his first 3 years. This isn't a racist thing at all, but that's how the media paints it. The bottom line is, people, everybody's hurting, and it really doesn't matter what color the president is or anything else. It's all about too much spending, too much tax.
Kereakos, Zuras, thank you for joining us.